Hello, my name is Risa. Today I'm going to teach you how to use Canva. So head on over to canva.com and open up a free account. Here you see I have Canva on my screen, and for the examples that I'm going to show you today, you have many choices of layouts that already have dimensions preset in them. So today I'm going to do I'll click on More, and I'll pick a letter size format. But as you could see on the top, you could use custom dimensions also to specify whatever size that you would like. But for today's tutorial, I will pick a letter size design. You can use a pre-designed layout which comes up automatically, and I'll show you what these look like. And you could click on each individual element to change it around. So that's one great way to get started. Down here on the right is a zoom button, which is handy, that you can use. Control Z undoes the last thing that you've done, or you could just click on it to select it and delete it. I'm going to show you how to use a background. You could use their default palette to choose different colors. You can click this plus button and use their color wheel to pick any color that you like and press the enter button. Or you could use one of their backgrounds, and you could see that they either say free, or the ones that aren't free have a price on it, and you could see $1, $1. I'm going to pick a background. I'll just click on a few of them to show you the different colors. And once you pick a background, you could change the color of the background. Let me just scoot up a bit. You could click on this color box to change the colors of the background that you set. So I will pick a darker color. Then you could slide this wheel to make it darker. Now that you added the background, I'm going to show you different layouts that you could use. Okay, I already showed you that. I'm going to remove this background so that you could see. I'll move on to text, because there are a lot of things that you could do here with text. They have defaults of large size, medium, and small. So you could click on Add Heading, and with that, you could move it around. And you could see that there are guidelines that appear, the dots, the vertical line, that tells you that it's centered. When you move down here, now you could see that it's centered this way on the page. Just going to make it bigger so you could see it better. Now this is where you could change the font. Here it lists all the different fonts that are available. The point sizes, the color. You could choose one that you've already chosen, or you could specify your own. And some fonts are available for bold and italic, and some are not. So I'll just pick one that might be available for bold. This one isn't available either, but you could go through it, and I'm going to show you a trick to make a font bold when it doesn't come that way. For example, the Julia Sands 1 font that I like a lot, it does not come in bold. So one thing that you could do is click the copy button, click on the box, and you could use your arrow keys. See, I'm pressing my arrow key, nothing is happening. You have to make sure that you click the outside of the box. Which could be a little tricky. Okay, now it's moving. So you could see that I'm moving it over using my keys to get it exactly where I want, and now it appears bold. You could use this same trick to do a drop shadow. I'm going to use a bigger font to show you a more noticeable drop shadow. How about I'll use this? Let me get this out of the way. I'll copy this. And I will change the color. I'm not crazy about that purple color, so let me change it to black. This color, I will make it a light gray. Now you can see it appears over the other font. I want it to go behind it. That's where you could use the arrange key. So I'm going to say back. And now I'm using my up and down arrows to move it around. So there you could see I just created a pretty cool looking drop shadow. So those are things that you can do with text. Some other things that you could do with text are, this is the alignment button, left, right, center. This is a toggle button to change it from all caps, just the first letter is capped. Okay. Text spacing. Watch what this is doing. It's increasing the spacing between letters, and this is increasing the line height. So you have that flexibility there. Another feature that could be used with the text and also boxes is this transparency button, which works great if you have images and you're putting boxes over images, which I will show you also. I'd also like to show you how to put a border around a box. If you click on the box and you do Alt-Shift-B, notice how I've put a border around the box. So again, that is Alt-Shift-B, and I got the border. Okay, so that is a great little trick. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to show you is, let me get rid of this, is elements. Here you could add shapes. Just going to add a few so that I could show you another feature that comes with this. Let me just reduce the page size, and I'll change the color of each of these shapes. And I'll keep that the same. Now, it's pretty common in documents that you might have lots of layers. You might have a background. You might have an element like a box, like this. You might have text over it. If you want to select something that's behind something else, you might find that it's pretty difficult. If I want to move this box, right now I could click on it, but sometimes it's just a background. What you can do to select an item is, on a PC, there's a key, I think it's called the window key. On my keyboard, it's between the Control and the Alt key, and it looks like the window symbol with the 4 panes of windows. If you hold that down and click, you could see how it's toggling between the different elements. So here the triangle is selected, now the circle was selected, and now the square is selected. And that, excuse me, so that allows you to select certain elements. So that's a neat trick to know in case you're just getting very frustrated that you're trying to get to an element and you cannot get to it. Now I want to show you about, I'm going to delete all of this where I just dragged my mouse and highlighted it. I'm going to add a picture. I'll take the American flag. I want to show you things that you could do with images. Now you see this is sizing an image, and it's sizing it proportionally. However, if you hold the, let me just check if it's the Control key or the Shift key. If you hold the Shift key down, it allows you to distort images. Otherwise, images, when you go to size them, it sizes it all proportionally. But sometimes you just need something to fit. The flag, it's important because everybody knows what it looks like, but if it's a background or if it's something else, you could hold the Shift key to resize an image. So that is a neat trick to know. Also, I'd like to show you, let me get this flag back to the proper proportions. When you have an image, there's a way to flip it. Also, you can crop an image. So if I just want to show the stars, I click the crop button on the top left, press the check button, and there the image is cropped. So I'm just going to show you that again. I'll pick another image. I'll take this pomegranate. Press the crop button. Press check. Now I just want to point out, I'm going to show you how to add grids, and in a grid system you could add photos. You cannot crop the photos that way once a photo is inserted in a grid system. But when it's just a free photo that you inserted, then you can crop it the way you want. Also, all of these images that I got in here, you could click the upload button and you could upload your own image. Also, if there's an image in mind, they have a big stock, they have a big library of images. So let's say I want to type in sunset. There are a lot of pictures to choose from here. So that is a neat feature. Let me use the shift key to distort it. I think this picture, even though I distorted it, it still looks okay. So that is something great. I just want to show you a trick here. Well, not a trick, just a technique. If you want to add text, a text to the top, I inserted a box. I clicked on Element Shapes, creating a shape here. Just sizing the shape. I don't like that color. I'll pick another color. Pick that color. I'm going to put some text over it. Also, regarding the text, there are a lot of predefined text styles that are here. So let's say I want to include this here in the middle. I could take this background and I could change the transparency of it. So that is something neat that you can do. Okay. The next thing that I want to show you, let me delete all of this, is the grid system, which is very, very neat, and I just used it to create a catalog. But while I'm here on this page, you should check out all these pre-designed font combinations. I mean, a lot of them are great. Sometimes if you see one that you like, I can be like, this font is really nice. I'll click on it just to see what the font is. So that's Roboto Condensed. This font is Playfair Small. And these elements over here, that little line on the top, or if you see other lines, there are a lot of things to explore. Let me just highlight this whole thing and delete it. But let me show you where those lines are. You should explore the elements section. So not only are there shapes, these solid ones, well, they're solid, but if you scroll down here, the ones that have a gray on the inside, that means that they're transparent in the middle. So this could make a nice border if you're looking to create a border on your page. But just to show you some of the other elements, you could click on lines. And you could change the colors of any of these. You could change this green color to purple or whatever you like. Also, if you notice, this allows you to, once you select an element, that little button over there, it allows you to rotate. Okay. Now, before I go on to the grid, I'm also going to show you frames. This allows you to put a picture. Let me change that to, it allows you to drag a picture. I'll take this turkey picture so you could see what it does. And all you have to do is drag a photo onto it and it automatically pops it in. So that was under Elements. That was the Frames button. So it adds a nice little border on the bottom. So that's pretty neat. That's how Frames works. Or one way that I used it was I put a photo of myself. That's me. Let me just... If you're putting a picture of yourself somewhere and you want to put a frame around it, actually I should have done the frame first, then the picture. So you could see how that works. Or you can, let me delete all of this. There was another frame that I used that I thought was pretty neat. I don't know if it was this one, but you could play around with it and they have really nice designs. I picked one that was more like, oh, it was one of these. I think it was this one. Let me delete this. Oh, it was this one that I used, which was really nice, a nice simple frame. You could click on the, you could size it however you like, and then just going to change the background, change that, so there you could see it a little better. Okay, so that is frames which you could play around with. Now I'm going to show you how to do the grid system, which I think is one of the probably coolest features. Elements, grids. When you click on grids, these are predefined layouts of where you could drop in pictures, and because of the predefined layouts with equal spacing, it allows you to create a really neat design. And if you were doing a catalog of items or an ad, it allows you to make it all very neat. Now here I just inserted, I picked a grid, I dragged it over. You could size the grid and move it all around. Another great feature of the grid is this spacing button. So here it allows you to reduce or increase the spacing. So if you want to identify the items in here or identify the products, it gives you the opportunity to type content under there. So I'll just show you how it works. I have Canva for Work, so it allows me to create different folders. I created a catalog folder. So I'm going to drag some things. Now to edit this photo, just to give you an idea, it didn't totally fit. You can't make an item smaller than the space given. You can make it bigger. Also, you do not have the opportunity to crop. However, if you hold the Shift key, you can distort things. Not that I want to distort this item, but sometimes it doesn't matter. But you can use the Shift key to distort, press the check button right there. And now if you wanted to identify this item, you could click on the text button. The catalog I just did, I used the font Glacial Indifference. And here you would put whatever you want. You could put your item number, so I might do and then the price. Now, if you want to make sure you center it under it, you could see the grid lines are there. And I don't see the other up and down grid line, but that will center it. That point size is a little big. Here you can pick whatever's here, or if there's a number that you don't see, you could type in your own number. And now that you have that font, you could click copy and use the same font elsewhere. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that another neat feature of Canva is it allows you to save documents as a PDF, and you could create links to your products. So when you open up the PDF, the items will link to whatever URL you want. However, that does not work in a grid system. The grid system, this is all considered, everything that I selected, that's considered one URL. So if you click this link button and you type in the URL, this whole thing, all these 1, 2, 3, those 5 images will all go to one URL. There's another solution for that. To deal with that, I use a program called Publitas to create a catalog, and that allows you to add your own hotspots. But I just want to show you that there is that functionality. So if I did not have this grid system here, let me select it to delete it. If I wanted to insert individual items, for example, this, and I'll add this, and I'll add these candlesticks. You could use a grid system, or you could lay things out on your own, especially if you have things of all different sizes. This allows you to nicely align on the left. You need a little bit more white space on the left, but I just want to show you how you could create different URLs. So you could click on this, click on link, and you could say abc.com, apply. Then you could click on this, and you see it's not pre-filled in with a link, so they all stand separately, so def.com. If you click on it again, you could see it already has that URL in there. If you want to copy this page, let's say you have a great layout and you want to copy it, you press this button. It allows you to copy. And then you could press this up arrow to switch the order of pages around. Now, when you want to, here is where you give your file a name, Canva tutorial. And then when you download, you have different options, PDF, JPEG, PNG. If you want the links to work, you have to click PDF. And then you press download, and it will save it to your desktop in the downloads folder. So that covers everything in this tutorial for today. I hope you learned a lot in this Canva lesson, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask below. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.